What's going on? Welcome back, Men of Prestige, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Thanks for having me, and thanks for coming by. As usual, we're going to have some fun. Let's discuss what's new. What's new. All right. With that being said, let me just make sure that audio is good. And while I'm doing that, please go ahead. All right. Good. All right, please go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, the good or the 3 9 yards, all of that, right? Let's go ahead and do that. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, let everyone know we're live. And yes, even if you're watching the rebroadcast. Welcome back. We're going to talk about R. Kelly today. What's going on, Just Jay? How are you? Good to see you. All right, so we have a couple of things we have to cover today. Yes, we're going to talk about R. Kelly, but we're also going to talk about some other things. I got some videos lined up here that I want us to review. I've been paying attention to what's going on TikTok. I just feel like we have to make sure we stay connected with what's going on out there. All right, now let me just go ahead and make sure that we have proper stuff going on in the background so we can just chill, relax, and have a good time while we're learning, right? It's very important, right, that we do that. Now, with that being said, I also want to let you know that I will, during the course of next week, I will be releasing some videos. So make sure you're on the lookout. Make sure you're subscribed. You turn on your notifications. These are very important videos that you need to make sure you watch. All right. Let's see here. Yes, we're going to talk about R. Kelly. The R. Kelly trial apparently is going on. And, a lot of people are under the impression that he had been sentenced. But the truth is that he has issues with multiple states in the United States, and it looks like that's going to be ongoing for a while. I don't think it's being broadcasted anywhere live, but of course there's going to be live coverage of everything that is going on. So we're going to be reviewing this article in a little bit. Okay, we're going to be reviewing that article. Now, a couple of videos that I want us to review here. The whole red pill manosphere thing. We need to continue to address it. Really, we're supposed to be talking about dating, relationship, and marriage. Dating, relationships, and marriage. That's what really we should be talking about. But what I find is that we got to pay attention to the Yoruba language, you call it kokora general, but rodents, rodents that can eat up the good seeds, the good vibes, the good values that we have in society. The reality is that there is the red pill as a philosophy, as an ideology, but there's also the red pill as it is practiced by the loud minority. Okay, the loud minority can be a very powerful thing. So even if something was designed to be something that can benefit manhood and the society at large, when you have a loud minority can take over negatively and destroy the purpose of it. Self-discovery, right? Self-discovery, discovering the truth. As good as that sounds, it's not always a good thing, because again, it's a function of biases, personal biases, temperament, personalities, trauma, past traumas, how you were raised, culture, religion. When you quote unquote discover the truth, when it gets mixed up with those things, it can create an undesirable product, right? So you've heard of those people talking about the red pill rage, things like that. And you've also encountered a person that claims to be red pilled, but even you as a man, you feel weird when they start talking, right? You just knew something is off, right? Not because you hate the truth, as they will claim, but because you just knew that the experience is terrible, right? And we're gonna continue to talk about things like that. So with that being said, I got a few videos that I want to share with you, and then we'll talk about the videos, and then we'll talk about R. Kelly, and then we'll talk about everything that concerns manhood. So I got this gentleman, Patrice O'Neal. Well, he's passed away now. He apparently was a legendary. I feel like I know him, but legendary comedian who was who a lot of his material was a lot of the red pill talking points or manosphere talking point. So things like that, I'll bring it to the table, and then we will dismantle it, unpack it, pack it together, and then try to make some sense out of it. I guarantee you it's not always going to be one way or the other. There's going to be situations that you will be surprised I agree with. And there are going to be situations that you'll be like, oh yeah, I could predict it. Probably I agree with that. Excuse me. Over time. All right. So let's listen to Patrice O'Neal real quick, and then let's take it from there.
Question. Here's a question. Here's a good, serious question. Okay, ladies, if you didn't have a vagina, like say it was a terrible train accident, right? And the doctor was like, we have to remove your pussy right away or you're gonna die. How would you keep your man past, you get a 2-month guilty, I can't leave the bitch right away because you just lost a pussy in a train accident. Can't just walk right out on her. How would you keep your man past that if you didn't have a vagina? Wow. Nothing? You can talk. Suck his dick. Okay. Mouth. Asshole. Okay, great. You see what I'm saying? Now, I've been getting pussy beamed the whole show, right? But I give women the opportunity to say, I'm going to make myself worth more. But you just classified yourself as a series of holes. But I'm supposed to treat you special, but you're just a bunch of holes to yourself. No one said learn how to play Xbox, learn how to play pool, tell better stories, get another bitch that got a pussy to come on in.
Yeah.
Look, whatever.
So.
Plus, when you get a certain age, pussy is not what it was when you was younger.
All right. So I got that off of TikTok. Now let's talk about this really quickly. All right. The idea that the only value that a woman brings to the table is her private parts, and the idea that you could quiz them, put them on a spot in a moment, and then they can answer with learn how to play Xbox and all these things that men would fantasize about, right? Of course that sounds good, right? But that's not the reality. I'm actually looking forward to maybe naming a show, particularly a show called Your Truth versus the Reality, right? Something like that, Your Truth versus the Reality. Because the truth is that a lot of men will fantasize about things like that. But the truth is that that's the reality for a lot of men. They just also have certain types of skill set, right? But first of all, the idea that a woman brings more than her private parts to the table is the reality, actually. Okay? The idea that all she brings to the table is her box, her private parts, is actually not the reality. is something we would like to fantasize about, if anything. Okay, that once you marry her, she's ready to get down and do it 3, 4, 5 times a day. That's actually more so a fantasy. But when you're married to a woman and you've done it long term, successfully only, right? There's actually a lot more she brings to the table. Now, the unrealistic part is to expect her that if you put her on a spot and quiz her, and then she'll be able to answer you like, oh yeah, when he said if you got hit by a bus and the doctor has to remove your private part as a woman, and then what else do you bring to the table? See, if that happens, right, something will happen, right? If that ever happens, if that was a reality, if this wasn't a joke, this is a joke, of course, right? But a lot of people quote him in the manosphere, right? If that happens, usually where there's a will, there will be a way. Okay. Now, does that mean she'll be valuable to a particular man? Not necessarily. Some men may not be able to deal with that. But I guarantee you, if you pluck somebody's eyes out, or something happens to one of their senses, when there's a will, there's a way. But they're not going to know what to do exactly unless you put them in that position. We don't necessarily know what we want to do unless you put us in a particular position. That's true for all of us across board. We can run our mouth, I would never, I will always. We can do that, right? But honestly, nobody truly knows what they would do unless they find themselves in a certain place of life testing, right? Of crisis. You don't know, right? You don't know what you don't know. So it's unrealistic to put women on the spot and then expect them to answer. And then somebody posted it on TikTok like that was a joke. That was meant to be a joke, a comedy, right? But a lot of people are taking this man's clip and pasting it all around, and they're making it their reality. And perception is reality. And the truth is that you're going to project. You're going to project if you're thinking like this. You're going to project negatively. The reason why you're resonating with this type of talk and it's going viral is because there are deeper issues that you need to worry about. All right? So that's that right there. I have another video I want to share with you. Let's go to Andrew Tate. Okay? Let's play Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate is talking about what red pill doesn't tell you. Let's watch
sex, this position, that position. Don't you feel like you get to a point in your life where there's something more than that shit? Maybe I'm gonna sound like a romantic. Don't you feel like you get to a position in your life where you'd rather have a girl who you truly love and she truly loves you, and it doesn't matter what she does because you know she really loves you and she's trying her best? Sex is not a complicated operation, all right? There's no move that's gonna be like, wow, I've never seen this before. I've never seen this before. My mind is blown.
No, like just
If you think the way you keep a man happy is to move your pussy in a particular way on top of his dick, as opposed to behave in a way which is respectful to him out in the real world and for him to know he has you, then you're wrong.
All right. So that's another one right there. That's another one. Andrew Tate. Okay. As a matter of fact, I was just watching Fresh and Fit talking about him being canceled. I think it was canceled by Facebook and Instagram, right? And that's sad. Now, I haven't done enough research to pay attention to his consistent rhetoric. All I know is that he's been accused of being misogynistic, okay? And usually if you're being accused of being misogynistic, there is a reason. Where there's smoke, there's fire. That's another reality, okay? That's, never mind truth, that's the reality. If you're being accused of being misogynistic, there's a good chance that you lack social skills. I don't care how loud you are. I don't care how rich you are. Okay, there's a there's a chance. I'm not saying it's always true, but there's a chance that you lack social skills. What do we mean by social skills? You live in a certain types of society, right? And there's a difference between conforming to the society and outrightly lacking social skills. So you may say, yeah, all I just want to conform to what is, and he never wants to make up his mind. That's not true. That's not necessarily true. That's you telling yourself that you think uh, telling yourself that you're more assertive and you're more stand than everybody else, or you know some kind of truth more than everybody else. Okay? And that's not necessarily true. Okay? That's you telling yourself lies. Okay? If consistently people keep telling you, I know you may say, hey, this world is changing, blah, blah, blah. That's the point. We live in a society, and if you want to get certain types of results, you may want to call it conforming, but it's not exactly conforming. You need to have social skills, which means it's not really an exact straight line thing, but it's something that you need to learn how to navigate. So if you run your mouth on social media consistently for 3 to 6 months, like for the last 3 months right now or so, I've been seeing on my news feed, but I haven't paid attention to what he's saying. But I know that he's being accused of misogynistic views. Then there must be some kind of truth to your delivery. Maybe it's just delivery, but it's something you have to pay attention to, because I'm guessing there's some kind of result you're looking to create for people, right? So if people are having a hard time swallowing the pill you present to them, they're having a hard time. But if they can't swallow the pill at all and you get canceled, then there's something you got to pay attention to, right? If they are listen to what I just said. They are having a hard time swallowing the pill, like they can't swallow it at all, right? There's a difference between having a hard time, there's something not being able to swallow it at all. Then you're not getting the results you want. You have to pay attention to that. All right. So now what he just said in that video, I don't really see anything wrong with it. It's still talking. It's like the same thing that Patrice O'Neill was just talking about, that women need to understand. Women need to know the value they bring to the table is much more bigger than their private parts. That's the reality. Right? But we don't need to run around the social media quizzing women or gaslighting them just because we have a need to be right. There's not much positive results we can get from that. Okay, what we need to be focused on, especially as men, is learning our point of leverage, power, and influence. Right, and it's usually not with a need to be right, like yelling at the top of your lungs and they must accept you, they must take the truth, all that kind of stuff. You're just creating bad experience for yourself, actually. Okay, and it tells me that you don't really trust yourself being able to deliver value without yelling at the top of your lungs. Just something we need to pay attention to. All right, what's going on, brother? What's going on? How are you? Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, so let me play this next one. Let's play this next one. This one is about body count. All right, it's about body count. Again, another Andrew Tate video, right? Again, he's saying things on surface value right now that I don't see anything wrong with, but everybody wants to cancel him. I am willing to bet that his views are borderline misogynistic. But I haven't paid attention enough, but I'm seeing these clips right here and I don't see anything wrong yet. Maybe somebody knows something that I don't know. But where there's smoke, there's fire. Just something to pay attention to.
Let's see. High value. 50 men have something.
I've just been single for a long time.
No, unacceptable.
Why is it unacceptable?
Oh, well. A body count is probably the #1 most easiest way to judge the value of a female.
Let me play that again.
High value. 50 men have something.
Okay, he said, how can you be high value if 50 men have slept with you? Right? All right, so this is a simple way of thinking. That's #1. Okay, hear me out. Okay, hear me out. But let's but it's okay. He's asking a question. He's having a conversation with a young lady. I'm hoping that as a young lady he's not necessarily trying to sleep with. They're just having a talk. There's camera in their face, right? If you're asking this question from a person you're trying to sleep with, that's definitely simp talk. But in general, a lot of people listening, majority of people listening, are listening so they can go and they will end up, a lot of them are young men, they will end up asking the woman these questions verbatim. Okay? So no one is teaching young men social skills, discernment. Like, I don't want my son to be with a woman that has been with 50 men. Okay? I don't want that. Okay? Because that's usually an indication of so many things. One of them being low self-esteem. Right? Of course, right? But it's always bigger than something on the surface. I'm much more concerned about the audacity of a young man thinking that he can create good results from asking this question verbatim in the form of a woman and expecting some form of truth. There's no truth that can come out of that question. And if there is truth that comes out of that question, it's red flag. I said this on Sir Hill's platform, and the show took a turn that day, right? But I needed more space to add context, but I had to respect his platform. Okay? If a woman tells you the truth, if you ask her, what's your body count? And she has 50 and she tells you the truth, that's red flag. That's the only red flag I need before I move forward. It's not even the fact that she slept with 50 people. It's the fact that she lacks so much social skills that she's willing to share that. Most normal human beings would lie if they have above normal body count. And I prefer normal people. Not people that want to tell the truth so bad that they lack social skills. Okay, I personally prefer that, and I think people like that are better for society because they're able to discern and able to understand other people and create better experience for humans in general. Not because they lie, it's because they're aware that some things are just not normal, like having a body count of 50, right? All right, so it's multiple angles to this, but listen to this young lady, the answer she gives.
I've just been single for a long time.
She said, what if I've just been single for a long time? She's trying to justify it. There's nothing to justify. If this was a young lady you're having a conversation with and you're about to wife up in some shape, form, or format, you're trying to bag her, you really should disconnect. Or you should be looking to smash and leave her alone. That's all you should be doing. Jesus Christ. How much more if she tells you straight to your face, like, she's trying to justify bullshit. You really should not be engaging such women. And you should be aware such people exist. Stop being so surprised that there are all types of human beings in this world. Because when you're surprised that this kind of woman exists, it tells me more about you. Like, I'm not surprised that there are women who are sexually, quote unquote, liberated and want to express themselves or compare themselves or compete with men. I'm not surprised. But it's really, really simple behavior to be surprised. It's a simple mindset. You're gullible. You really, really are expecting this world to be perfect and everything is in straight line. It doesn't exist. There's no such thing. There's all types of human beings in this world. Bad, good, in between, indifferent, mean good, but does bad, mean bad, but end up making life better for you. All kinds of human beings. Okay? So if she's just straight up like this, that's red flag. It's not about her past experience. The fact that she's willing to be so cerebral about this kind of thing, that's all red flag. There's no need to justify that. That should remain something you're ashamed of, but not in a shameful way that can destroy your future, but something you should be aware that an average man is not okay with 50 body count. There's no need to justify that. If you have a past, you have a past. Circumstantial reasons, maybe your lifestyle, maybe the way you were raised. But I hope you get to a point that you realize that no normal man, and let me talk to the gentleman again, if she's willing to be all upfront with you like this, it doesn't matter if she's telling the truth or not. That's all red flag. All of it is red flag altogether. There's no need to move forward, especially if you're in a position where this matters to you that much. I think what's much more important is your discernment. Even if she doesn't tell you the truth, watching what she does, her lifestyle should tell you more than enough. If you're not able to detect from watching how a person moves, you deserve all the body count that a woman brings to you. I'm sorry.
Unacceptable.
Why is it unacceptable?
A body count is probably the number one most easiest way to judge the value of a female.
That's retarded. That's not the way to judge a female's value. That may be a way to judge her past. That's all you're going to get from that information. But you're not going to get any information from her future. That's being slow. Excuse me for using the retarded language. That's literally being slow. That is a simp mindset. Okay? You're going to got if that's the way you think. Because they can lie to you and play you and finesse you still because you lack the spirit of discernment. Let me go to the next one here. Let's go to the next one. That was a loaded video. Jesus. Let's go to the next one here. All right. A man submits to me. Okay.
Supposed to pay no bills?
Submits to me, and he if he
He
submits
submits to you?
yeah, like we gonna submit to
Lord
each other.
have mercy. God be with us all.
Jojo, you
If you're submissive to a man, then by nature, if he's a good man, he gonna do right by you.
Yeah.
But he should not be submissive to you.
Exactly.
That's the role of
what I
a
was
real
saying.
man.
I
Well,
ain't know how
teach
to
me
say it, but
something.
you know.
I'm old enough to
The
be your
big
mama,
word
baby.
is the big
I'm
word.
gonna put you on game. I'm gonna put you on
That's
game,
what I
baby.
wanted.
She said, I'm going to put you on game. Now, here's the thing. Again, I'm playing these videos because I want you to be aware that I know these things exist. I've always known that since I was a child. I've been aware of my existence as a human being since I was 5, at least. I don't remember anything before 5. And I always knew that there are people that are not, that have wayward way of thinking. Like a woman that would say, a man submits to me. Now, there is a part in the Bible, in the scriptures, for those who believe in the scriptures, that says, submit to thyself, or something like that, to yourselves. Right? And a lot of women quote that. They will quote that and say, you know, a man is supposed to also submit to a woman. See, it's not about the content. To me, for the most part, it's about context. It's always about context. Because again, we're human beings. We're not robots. We're not scientific robots. We're human beings, and there's multiple facets and layers to what makes us who we are. Spiritually, emotionally, mentally, financially, socially, right? All those different things makes up who we are. So when a woman says, a man submits to me, it tells me much more than the content of what she's saying. Like, that sounds cute. There is a place in the Bible that says submit to yourselves, right? That's in addition to a woman should be submitting to her husband. But what I'm able to read from that is a combative spirit, a need to be right, a need to justify BS, right? For a fact in life, if you're married, in so many ways you do submit to your wife. At least you submit to the marriage institution, at least you submit to God in order to make it work. You submit to your vision as a man, right? To your overall vision. So yes, on the part of a man, there's in so many ways, that's the truth. It's correct that a man will submit. You go to work because you want to feed your family, protect, provide. And if there are any days that you feel lazy and you don't feel adequate, you submit to the overall vision and mission as a man. But when a woman sit up there and say, a man submits to me, she doesn't end like me. Let me play that for you again.
So you saying you don't supposed to pay no
A man
bills?
submits to me, and he if he
He
submits
submits to you?
yeah, like
That to an average man, that shocked the hell out of him, right? Right? But again, if you argue that at a semantic level, you start arguing that at a level where you just become combative with her, you deserve every disrespect that comes to you. Okay? Now, what he's doing, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just having a conversation. But if you find yourself in a situation where you're being combative, she's combative, yes, but you engage that, I may be forced to, I know it's a stretch, but I may be like, you lack self-respect. What good do you think you're gonna get out of a woman who already think that way? It's probably nothing that you can get out of that, right? So what I'm sharing with you is that you need to kind of like, I always say this, dig deeper, think deeper, have a sense, build your critical thinking ability. Like, something can throw you off. A woman can say something that will throw you off completely. Have the self-respect to calm down and say, that's interesting. Why would she think that way? Instead, what we have these days is a lot of men just engage that and they start going in with her. They start getting combative with that, right? There's no good results that can come out of that. There's no good results. What's going on, CJ? How you doing, my brother? Good to see you, man. Yeah, there's no good that can come out of that. If you find yourself in this situation with a woman arguing like this, just become interested. Become interested in why she think that way. Don't engage it at a level where you go, because if you engage her at that equal level, it's not really equal. You go under her. She will walk all over you and destroy you. Because that's not really your space. As a king, that's not your space. Instead, like, submit to you. Tell me a little bit more about that. Yes, I'm policing the way you talk, if you're wondering. What do you mean? What do you mean by submit to you? Allow her to explain herself. You may just find that she will rearrange her thought, because she will discover, like, wait, that sounded slow. Like I'm slow, like she's dunce, right? Let me play that. Let me keep playing it.
We gonna submit to
Lord
each other.
have mercy. God be.
She said we're gonna submit to each other, but that woman, that older lady, was able to detect that something is. Yeah, that's a mindset, and that mindset, nothing good can come out of it. That's a combative woman right there, and there's no need to engage her outside of being interested in how she thinks.
Be with us all.
Jojo, if you're submissive to a man, then by nature, if he's a good man, he gonna do right by you, but he should not be submissive to you. That's the role of a real man.
I ain't know how to say it, but you know.
I'm old enough to be your mama, baby. I'm gonna put you on game. I'm gonna put you on game, baby.
All right, so let's go to more Andrew Tate.
Any rapper and have a look at any of their interviews and see how low their IQ is. And these people are millionaires.
We got a special guest in the building, Tekashi 6ix9ine. I'm the hottest artist.
Wait, I need to play that from the beginning. Okay, this is Andrew Tate again. Again, there's news out there in the last few hours that is he's been cancelled on Instagram and Facebook. I don't know much about him. I haven't done enough, but there's nothing wrong with what he's saying. There could be a little adjustment here and there in terms of mindset, because what really drives everything is mindset at the end of the day, right? So let's see this mindset right here, okay?
Look at any rapper and have a look at any of their interviews and see how low their IQ is. And these people are millionaires.
We got a special guest in the building, Tekashi 6ix9ine. I'm the hottest artist in the city.
Crickets.
So if they're a millionaire, I definitely deserve to be a millionaire.
All right, so let's fix that. For a lot of young men that will listen to that and think they have to go on the internet and start running their mouth anyhow because they want to be stupid like rappers, you got it wrong. Okay? He's correct that you don't have to be smart to be a millionaire, but you do have to give that much value into the marketplace. Okay? If Tekashi 6ix9ine, that's his name? Tekashi 6ix9ine, right? If he became a millionaire, make no mistake about it, he brought value to millions of people. I'm not talking about how smart or how high or low his IQ. That's one of the problems with high IQ young men these days. They engage in debate all day long. They can't wait to engage the next need to be right type of arguments and debates. And they wonder why they're struggling, because it's not about how smart you are from an IQ standpoint. Not even EQ, okay? Because I'm advocate for emotional intelligence, but not even that. Never mind all of that, okay? But more so from a standpoint of, for whatever reason, you're able to bring that much value to millions of people. That's how you become a millionaire, okay? Not the other way around, okay? Not because just because you think rappers are stupid and they talk anyhow on the internet, you want to go on the internet to start running your mouth. If it's not entertaining enough to match that energy, you're going to get cancelled, like Andrew Tate got cancelled today. Okay? That's exactly what's going to happen to you. You're just going to get cancelled. I'm not going to lie to you. Listen, this world is vicious, especially to you as a man. And yes, you can be considered misogynistic, if you don't know how to talk, if you don't pay attention to the audience you're talking to. It doesn't necessarily mean you're misogynistic, but it means you're being received as misogynistic. And it's something you should pay attention to because it can absolutely destroy your bag, your money, your life. Yes, of course. Why? Because you don't live in a cave. Okay? It's something you should pay attention to. We're going to be talking about R. Kelly in a minute here. Okay? So, just because rappers are entertainers, that's value to millions upon millions of people. Let's not be stupid. That's why they become millionaires. And if you notice, for majority of them, it doesn't last much longer than maybe 5-10 years, because there's a faster generation, because it's fast money. It comes right behind them and take over. Even scam artists, right? They're bringing value to somebody, not just themselves. For them to, like, for example, Hush Puppy with $40 million in an apartment in cash is because it was also serving a bunch of other people in the wrong way, of course. But don't get it twisted. People don't become millionaires just by being stupid, just by having low IQ. That's half truth, which means a lie. This is very important for you. Don't let people that are overnight success talk slick, sway you in the wrong direction. If you have entertainment value that much, you're going to make money. When you mix that together with business acumen, right? You will make a lot of money like Jay-Z, right? Let's not be stupid, okay? The reality is that you need to bring value to make money. It's as simple as that, okay? And if you're bringing value to millions of people, you will make lots of money. All right? So let's play that again.
Look at any rapper.
Look at any rapper.
And look at any of their interviews and see how low their IQ is. And these people are millionaires.
How low their IQ is. Again, this is simp talk. I'm sorry. I know these kind of guys are quicker to call everyone else a simp, but let's look at the real meaning of it, right? You're just always thinking at a surface level. Think a little bit deeper, some critical thinking. Why are these guys commanding money besides your perception of low IQ? And by the way, that's just your perception. A lot of them are smart, but it has nothing to do with IQ. It has everything to do with, for whatever reason, God bless them, they're able to bring entertainment value to millions of people. That's why they become millionaires. Not because they have low IQ. Because the way I translate what he just said, which maybe I'm taking them out of context because it's just a short TikTok clip here, but it is out of context. It's wrong. It's out of pocket. Okay, let's go on to the next one here. Let's see. All right, let's talk about dating a little bit.
Number 1, just be yourself. Reality, you can only afford to just be yourself if you're attractive enough in the first place. Meanwhile, for anyone who's unattractive, it will be irrelevant because they'll get rejected based on their looks anyway. And for anyone average, jester maxing will be required to get any attention. Lie number 2, be someone you yourself would want to date. Reality, this phrase is in direct contradiction to the last one. First you say just be yourself, now you say be someone you would want to date. Which is it? Lie number 3, just be confident. Reality, your looks is your confidence for the most part. Let me ask you, who looks more confident out of these two guys?
All right.
Attractive enough in the...
So let's talk about this, right? Oh my God. All right. So first of all, I could smell the mother's breast milk in his mouth, even on TikTok. This is a young man who thinks he's learned something profound, and he can't wait to share with the world. He created a whole PowerPoint for TikTok, and he shared it with the world, and he really thinks he's saying something that makes sense. First of all, as a foundation, looks and money can only last for so long. They get old. Okay? Right? Now, wealth building doesn't necessarily get old, but money by itself, it's a byproduct and it's a tool. Okay? So that's for the ladies that tend to chase after money. They get old too. You can marry somebody who has all the money in the world, that gets old too. And I would hope that you're looking out for something else a little deeper than money. The same thing with looks. Okay? This is especially true for us as men. Okay? Your looks is stupid, it's useless. I mean, we all saw in the last few weeks, we all saw Austin Olderman, a good-looking man, complaining bitterly about being rejected by American girls. Okay? So he said, just be yourself. He said it's a lie. Now, in a different context, I do think be yourself is always a terrible advice, because it leaves very little room to acknowledge that growth is necessary, period, in life, especially as a man, right? A lot of people shy away from growth and they say, I just want to be myself. That's stupid, okay? But the way he's coming at just be yourself as a phrase, you can only be yourself, that's only useful if you are attractive, because he thinks of attraction only from a from a look standpoint. For every 10 girls you talk to that's already hooked up with a person, even for a long-term relationship, they are probably not with a person that they see as the person that see as the best looking person. Why? Because they got attracted to something else. They became attracted to something deeper than just looks. Sometimes you hang around a person and you have a conversation for like 30 minutes and then you start to take a liking to them. That is the reality. The reality is not the look, like the first aesthetic that you see in a person. That's not the reality. That's a short-term reality, and if you know anything about anything short-term, obviously they don't last. They get old very quickly. And his second lie says,
first place. Meanwhile, for anyone who's unattractive, it will be irrelevant because they'll get rejected based on their looks anyway. And for anyone average, jester maxing will be required to get any attention. Lie number 2. Be someone you yourself would want to date.
So he said, be someone you'd want to date. Again, the real simps, they always think of things at a very surface level. So never mind context. He's just reading a sentence. It's like people that have a problem with happy wife, happy life. You see them argue their lungs out because they can't stand the idea of a happy wife. They overreact to the idea of a happy wife. Like, who says that? They're like, dude, that's simp talk. Because again, it was a metaphor. Just like this was a metaphor. Be someone you'd want to date. It doesn't mean exactly verbatim, literally you become that person. Why are we interpreting it that way? So he says it contradicts be yourself. Right? This is like we're talking to a 3-year-old. This is problematic. If I see 10 people among 3 billion men, is it 3 billion? Yeah, 3 billion men say this kind of stuff in our society, we're in trouble. When men don't understand context, understand metaphors, parables, proverbs, if everything has to be literal for them, we're in trouble. Be someone you'd want to date. What it means is that whatever you want from them, you should make sure you're able to provide for yourself. Whatever you want out of life, make sure you be the solution that you want in the world. It's a popular saying. It's nothing to be taken literally, to be argued with like a child. You're not a child. Don't argue like this. Everything is not literal, right?
Reality, this phrase is in direct contradiction to the last one. First you say, just be yourself. Now you say, be someone you would want to date. Which is it? Lie number 3.
A better argument would be, because people fight for compatibility. I think when people fight for compatibility and they're looking for compatibility, I think it works against them. Okay, because you're looking for someone that will complement you, not someone that will be exactly like you. That would be a better argument. But to just pick out the words out as like literal, it just tells me more about, I don't know this guy. Maybe we'll see his name so you can go follow him after this. I caught this video on TikTok and I just felt sorry, you know.
Just be confident. Reality, your looks is your confidence.
Looks is not confident, ever. Okay? Ever. The only thing closest to surface level confident is maybe your educational level, but more so your experience. Okay, your experience, and those things come. Maybe you feed yourself with education, but it has to come out from inside. Confidence comes from the inside, not your looks. I know way too many good-looking people that lack confidence. Way too many. So this tells me that this person that's teaching here does not have any experience. They're regurgitating some bullshit they read in one chapter in a book.
For the most part. Let me ask you, who looks more confident out of these two guys?
We don't know, you Okay, I'll just slow down. We don't know. That's just a picture. They both look slow to me. The one on the left looks like he did his hair, I guess. Is that supposed to mean confidence? I know way too many guys that look exactly like him, but they can't say 2 sentences. They start shaking and start peeing on themselves when they're presented with a fine young lady thing. This is problematic. We have work to do. We have work to do. Yeah, we have some work to do. So, and he called the reality. This is part of the problem. He just called the reality. Now, he's talking a lot of reality without giving any real examples. Everything is generalized. Let's play one last video, then we'll talk about this R. Kelly situation. Okay?
This is about to be really good. I hope you're ready. Strap on that seatbelt. Do you own your own spot, car, and job? Sorry for the interrogation. I'm just not into dating losers. I'm sure you can understand. Homie came in like this. Definitely, I understand. Absolutely. I bought a house a while back. My dad helped me out a lot. But yeah, I have a house. I have a full-time job, 2 cars. One for strictly work and the other one for pleasure. Then she came back and said, sounds like you got it going for you. Then he hit her with the okie doke. Well, so how about you? How about what? Car, crib, job. She said, why would I need one? That's why I'm looking for a man to take care of me and my kids. Men are providers. Didn't your mom ever teach you? I live with my mom and I get child support and no car yet. Problem. In the trust, we got to talk about this.
All right. So again, why are you having a conversation beyond? Do you have a house and a car? Why are you taking the conversation beyond that? And if you did take the conversation beyond that, what good do you think could possibly come out of that conversation outside of you wasting your time? I don't know if that's a good thing, right? What good do you think will come out of that? This is people say, hey, Ola, you've been out of the game for 15 years, so you don't know. Look, listen, there's nothing else you're going to tell me. I can see it right now. But I could also see the mistake you're making. You're engaging the wrong people. You're wasting too much time with the wrong people. So that's that much time you're wasting away from the right people. And especially if you continue to attract the same type of girls, the common denominator is you. I know you hate to hear that, but it's you. It doesn't mean it's your fault. But you got to pay attention to why do you keep attracting the same situation over and over. So now I got to a point, she said, yeah, what about you? Say, yeah, what about me? Yes, in this kind of example, women will move this way. They're not going to be held accountable, not by you, because you're dumb enough to engage that conversation in the first place. Right? Because guess what you did when she asked that question? You started to narrate and explain yourself. You were doing shalaye, you were doing mansplaining. Yeah, my father did this. Hear this out yourself. Hear it.
I'm just not into dating losers. I'm sure you can understand. homie came in like this. Definitely, I understand. Absolutely. I bought a house a while back. My dad helped me out a lot. But yeah.
Why are you explaining yourself to a person asking you what you're worth? If a person, I don't care if it's a man or a woman, if a person cannot determine what you're worth by just getting to know you, you should disconnect that engagement instantly. It doesn't have to be a permanent decision. But instantly, you should say, listen, I gotta go. Let's talk tomorrow. And if you don't do that, it's a sign that you lack self-respect or self-worth. Because no one should be trying to determine your worth by surface level information, like body count, like how much money do you have, how many cars do you have. If they're not willing to be patient enough to get to know you on a patience level, you should have enough self-worth to say, hey, let's talk tomorrow. Let's talk sometimes again. And disengage. See, I can see these are the problems. All like, you don't know what we're going through. I know what you're going through is all over TikTok. You're complaining and you're crying and bitching about it every day. But I can see the way you respond to it. Why is your text longer than hers? She now said, thanks.
I have a house, I have a full-time job, 2 cars, one for strictly work and the other one for pleasure. Then she came back and said, sounds like you got it going for you. Then he hit her with the okie doke. Well, so how about you? How about what? Car, crib, job.
So you're competing with a woman now. You want to know if she has a car. You want to see if she will pass the same test. Like, that's a very good way to tell me you lack self-respect and self-worth. Definitely, your time is worth nothing. That's what that means to me. This is why the moment you start crying and bitching about women, I can tell where you're going already. I can hear it. I know you've disrespected your own time already. And now you expect me to hold her accountable. No, nigga, I'm holding you accountable. You need to know when to disengage. You need to have abundance mindset. If they can't detect your worth by getting to know you, being patient like a human being, they don't deserve your time. And if you think they deserve your time, there you go. They're mimicking your own self-worth. That's the way it works. 100% of the time I can hear it. Okay, I acknowledge not everyone can hear it, but I can hear it. I know where this is going the moment you start complaining about women, or if you're a woman that you're complaining about men. The same thing. I know where we're going. It's you. I know you don't want to hear that, but it's really you. It's you. It is you. All right, so that's that right there. Let's go into this R. Kelly stuff. A couple of things I wanted to. R. Kelly. What do we say about R. Kelly? All right, so if you've seen the thumbnail, let me see if I can show the thumbnail again real quickly. The thumbnail says it all. Okay, well, no need to do that. Avoiding reality. I don't mean to put everyone else in the same breath as a criminal like R. Kelly, okay? That's what he is. I love his music to death, okay? But he's a criminal. It's just what it is at this point, right? But it's still a good example. See, when you can avoid reality all you want, and it may last long enough where you feel like, hey, you've had heaven, paradise here on earth, because it did. And I don't know if I should consider that paradise or heaven, because that's just nasty, right? I don't think it is. I don't think it's paradise. I think it was a man that was suffering, and it just doesn't belong in the society the way we know it. And he's going to be put away for a long time. I don't know what he's going to pull off. I don't know what he's going to try to pull off. But I do think that, let's see here. Let's go ahead and let me give you an update of what's going on here. A star witness, this is according to CBS Chicago. Star witness was heard today, her testimony, and they saw a video. The jury in R. Kelly's federal trial in Chicago on Friday watched graphic videos that prosecutors say show the singer assaulting his goddaughter when she was, oh my God, I think I have an idea what they're talking about. It's probably the same. But anyway, in threesomes and stuff like that, craziness, right? Only the jurors saw the videos as black screens were placed around the jury to block the media or other spectators in the courtroom from seeing the video screens because it involved the minor. See, you could go for a lifetime, but the truth, the real truth, is a function of time. Not the one you say, oh, I'm just telling the truth. No, the real truth will catch up. You know, there's a good chance that R. Kelly was in this apartment somewhere in Chicago just a few years ago saying, I could get away with anything. This is my belief, and that's my belief, and no one can stop me. I mean, go to Africa back in the days. People got married at the age of 9, 10 years, you know, and won't stop. And he's like, no, but that's my belief. I should have the freedom to do what I want to do. Okay, he wasn't loud like that in the media, but it was, his action was doing that. R. Kelly was a socially awkward person. One of the greatest entertainer that this world would ever see in terms of music, singing, but a very slow person in other respects. Not even financially, not intellectually, socially. And it's hard to learn these things, but you can learn them. Okay? If you find yourself that your belief system tends to push against the general public, it could be a good thing. You may just be a trendsetter, or you may just belong in jail. Let me be clear to you right now. Okay? Two possibilities. Oh, that's just my belief system. I'm red-pilled, everybody else is in the matrix. Good. Congratulations. There are extremes to everything. You may just belong in jail, or you may just be a trendsetter. Maybe 50 years from now, we'll be like, oh yeah, that guy was a trailblazer. Very likely not. See, you can avoid reality all you want, but you cannot avoid the consequences of avoiding reality. I just want you to be clear about that. Be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of social belief systems. You can have your belief systems, but be aware that there's a reason why majority of people believe in a certain way. So even if you're going to believe otherwise, just have some level of self-awareness so you don't end up like R. Kelly. Life destroyed halfway through so many good possibilities for this man, but it looks like he has childhood trauma that he never treated, and that is really no excuse when you start committing crime against other people. With that being said, hopefully you've been enlightened and educated, and I'll see you on the next one, and peace.